live. We are live. Hello, my friends. Michael Bridgman here. And today we are back at it. Yes, we are. We are back at it with A Year of Growing Rich, 52 Steps to Achieving Life's Rewards, with this incredible series of essays by the great late Napoleon Hill. For those who don't know, I am on a bit of a journey, and I welcome you to join me here as I am going through this book right here, 52 Steps to Achieving Life's Results, A Year of Growing Rich. And it's a series of essays, and I read out the essay. I have not read it before, so it's brand new to me at the same time as it is to you. And we kind of talk about it. We explore it. We figure out, okay, what does this mean? What is this really talking about? And so I don't know what today's lesson is all about. I know we are on chapter number 7 of 52, and chapter number 7 is called Hopefulness. But other than that, I know just as much about it as you do. So we're going to explore it together. Last chapter, which was 2 weeks ago now, because last week I was away, was called Sincerity. And just a little quick update here on the journey so far, my friends. It has been a wild last sort of, now this has been 8 weeks. So I'm on week, this is 7, so we're going to call it 7, but it's kind of been an 8-week journey so far. And in my life, I have had more clarity in the last 8 weeks about my own personal value, my own personal mission, what I'm doing, where I'm headed, all of those things than I have in years. Maybe even a couple of decades, to be honest. Since I was in my early 20s and went to acting school. I was super clear about that until I was done acting school, ironically. But going through the process, so going through the chapters, and you can look back through the timeline here on my Facebook page. Someday I'll download these and kind of put them into something for everybody. The week 1 is No One Drifts to Success. Week 2 was all about learn how to live your own life, not living what someone else tells you to live. Big importance there. Week 3 was motivate yourself to achieve success. Week number 4 was some succeed and others fail. Why? Week number 5 was strength grows out of struggle. And then number 6 was sincerity and how to be sincere in your approach to your goals and how that sincerity can attract people to you and make the world, make things awesome. So today we're going to dive into episode/week 7. And that, my friends, is all about hopefulness. And I don't know, as I said before, I'm reading this for the first time. And God, my hair is all over the place today, huh? Look at that. It's just, I ran my fingers through my hair a little while ago and it's just been poof ever since. Anyway, I need a haircut. Hopefulness. So as I said, I've never read this before. If you're watching alongside, enjoy. So have fun. Hopefully what I say in here has some resonance with you. You can feel a vibration with the words that I'm sharing here. And in fact, funny enough, you guys, this is the second time I'm sharing Napoleon Hill's work today on a live like this. So let's get rocking and rolling here, and we are going to get going. So week number 7, hopefulness. Hope is the raw material with which you build success. It crystallizes into faith, faith into determination, and determination into action. Love that. It springs principally from your imagination, from your dreams of a better world, a better life, and a better tomorrow. That's why we're here, right? I mean, ultimately, that's what we're doing. We want a better tomorrow. Not that today isn't amazing, not that we're not grateful for everything we have, but that we're carving towards something. We're headed towards a greater destiny than what we have exactly today. And so that's what Napoleon Hill's talking about here. So on the basis of hope, you will decide upon your definite goal in life and translate it into actuality. Years ago, for example, the railroad man, James J. Hill, was simply a clerk sitting at a telegraph key sending the message from a woman to a friend whose husband had been killed. He was inspired by what the message said. Your grief can be softened by your hope of meeting your husband in a better world. Remind me, I have to get back to something about that later on, okay? The word hope stuck in Hill's mind. He began thinking about the powers and possibilities of hope that led him to dream of someday building a new railroad to the west. That dream developed into a clear-cut determination which he'll carry to fruition. The telegraph operator's dream, built on the possibilities in a single word, went on to become the Great Northern Railway System. Hill made multimillionaires of many others along the way because he recognized that the success of Hill's railroad was tied to the fortunes of his customers. He persuaded farmers, apple growers, miners, and lumbermen to move west and transport their goods on his Great Northern Railway. He built an empire that eventually stretched from Canada to Missouri and from the Great Lakes to the Puget Sound. He even expanded to the Orient with his own steamship line. Beautiful. Manuel L. Quezon dared to dream of, sorry, it's a busy spot at the store today, dared to dream of and hope for self-government for his beloved Philippine Islands. He even dared hope that someday he might be president of a free Filipino republic. His hope became a deep faith, which he turned into action as he campaigned to be appointed resident commissioner of the islands. Love it. For 24 years, he bent every effort toward the day when the territory would become a separate country. I know because he was my good friend, and he let me advise him frequently on ways to achieve his political aims. The day he was elected president of the new Philippine Republic, Quezon sent me this telegram. May I thank you from the fullness of my heart for having inspired me to keep the fires of hope burning in my heart until this glorious day of triumph. The lesson for you, for me, in Quezon's story is that you must give your imagination free rein to create hope. Dare to dream lost. That is where they should be. Now, put foundations under them. I love that quote from Thoreau. From your hope and faith, decide on a definite goal. Write it down, commit it to memory, make it the fixed star on which you chart your course to success. Then act to make it come true. When you have your eye firmly fixed on your guiding star, it is much easier to steer toward your goal. And you can quickly decide which actions will get you there quickly and which will delay you. Without your eye on the star, you may make many false turns before you finally reach your destination. Never forget that every dream begins with hope. Every success story with a happy ending starts with the words, once upon a time there was a man or woman who hoped that someday, ... Yeah. Yours must start out the exact same way. Okay. Hopefulness. You know, it's ironic because today, in the Napoleon Hill Institute Daily Study Program, I taught today, this morning, and it was on faith. It was on what is faith? Like, what exactly is it? And I said, really, faith is to me a verb, right? I faith something. Like, I believe in it. I have faith in it. And he says, hope crystallizes into faith, faith into determination, and determination into action. That's what we've got, isn't it? That's what we're made of, is this determination forged into action. And it's funny because we tend to believe what we can see, feel, taste, touch, hear, smell is the other one. We tend to believe those things. But faith is the thing that's so omnipresent all around us, right? The acorn grows into the tree. It doesn't happen accidentally. It happens on faith. It's the laws of reality that these things take place. There's 2 staff members here at the store at Just About Pets that are pregnant, right? One thing leads to the other thing, which leads to a seed, right? Then growth. They lead to the other thing. So faith is this undeniable law of reality. And if you want to become as successful as you dream to be, have some faith in you. That's what I'm working on right now. Really honing and polishing that faith, really honing and polishing that idea that what I am today is phenomenal and amazing, and I am growing into the next best version of me to accomplish the next greatest thing. And I know it's going to happen. I don't know the route, right? Faith does not mean I have the definite plans of everything. Faith doesn't mean that I know all the secrets. Faith doesn't mean that I've got every step of the way planned out. What faith means is that I'm taking strides. I'm forging ahead and I'm looking towards my goal, right? He says, look towards your goal. Where's that part? When you have your eye firmly fixed on your guiding star, it's much easier to steer toward your goal. And you can quickly decide which actions will get you there and which will delay you. Right? We have to have our eye on the objective. We got to know where we're going and just have faith that as you plant your footfalls, the mountain is going to rise beneath you to meet your feet. That's what faith is. And it's beautiful because it reminds me of my dog, James. And James passed away last week. It's still a tender spot for my family and I. But he reminded me all the time, every day, to have faith and to love unconditionally. That's the beautiful thing about dogs. I don't know whether I read it somewhere, I heard it, that dogs, and cats, they don't live as long on this planet as human beings do because they have less to learn about love than we do. And by that same token, they have less to learn about faith than we do. Right? They don't second guess that you're going to be there for them. They don't second guess any of those things. James knew all the time that we were going to be there for him, that food was going to go down and love was going to be there and everything else. And he's going to get his walks and have his fun with the kids and everything. And losing him is a big hole in our lives. But this message, right? Hill was inspired by the message that he sent. Your grief can be softened by your hope of meeting your husband in a better world. My grief and my wife's grief about James can be softened by our hope that he's with our other dog, Taylor, who's gone, and that we will see him in a better world. And he'll be running around like crazy and everything else. And so what does hope mean to you? Napoleon Hill has given us his definition here. Hope becomes a deep faith, which is turned into action. So, but what is it to you? If you're here watching me today, think about that. What is hope to you? What is being full of hopefulness? Hopefulness, being full of hope. What does that mean to you? Because to me, it doesn't mean being blindly optimistic or anything like that. To me, it just means that I'm looking for the solutions. I have faith that the solution will be provided. My role here, right, the way I see it is my role is to have a great vision, to take what I've been inspired to do with my life, hold that vision up and march towards it and deal with whatever comes in my way as those things show up. That's my role here, is to trudge forward, to keep pushing forward, to move past the obstacles, to find a way to fulfill the dream that's been asked of me. That's how I feel. How do you feel? What does it mean to you? If you're here watching this live, you can put a comment in here, or you can just keep it to yourself. But I find it a beneficial exercise to ask myself, what does looking for the answers, looking for the way through, not allowing the speed bumps of life, the detours, the twisty turns, the 90-degree hairpins or 180-degree hairpin turns to prevent me from getting where I want to go. My friend Glenn says, my hope and faith come from God. Yeah, Glenn, for sure, man. For sure. Right? A lot of people find their hope and their faith is divinely inspired and divinely present, for sure. For some people, it's the universe, Glenn. For some people, it's infinite intelligence. For some people, it's just a personal faith in the power of human beings. Whatever it comes from, it almost, how we frame it is less important than having it, from my perspective. And so I think that that for me, this week is going to be about that, being hopeful, being resourceful, being an uplifting presence in people's lives who I'm with, that we can find great solutions to whatever the challenges are that we face. Doesn't matter what they are. We'll find a solution. We'll work our way through it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whatsoever. So that's how I feel about today's chapter. And as he says here, never forget that every dream begins with hope. I was often called a daydreamer when I was little, with my head in the clouds, as it were. But as Thoreau says, if you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put the foundations under to support them. Right? So if you've been called a daydreamer or distracted, or you lack focus in your life, perhaps it's just because you're spending some time indulging that beautiful imagination of yours, where you're creating your reality. You're creating what it is that you want to become and the world you want to live in. It's all about how you want to perceive these situations in your life, right? So this week, I'm going to act with hopefulness and with faith. This has been a resounding message today to me from several sources. Like when I was running the daily study program at the Napoleon Hill Institute this morning, and I was teaching on faith. And now here we are once again. Hopefulness is about crystallization of faith into action. Right? So I get the message. Thank you. Loud and clear. That this week is about hopefulness, resourcefulness, and finding a beautiful a way of ease through the challenges that I face. It doesn't mean there's not going to be work involved, but the work doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. It can be done with ease, right? So thank you very much for watching, everybody. That is going to sort of cap off week 7. If you got great value from this, please leave a comment here while you're watching. That would be great. Or I have had some people send me private messages saying that they really love this stuff and they appreciate me going through it kind of live and in front of people and bumping my shins as we go. But as I said early on in this process, I wish that some of the people that I care a lot for had documented some of their own personal development journey, because I see them at the finish line, or I see them way up the mountain from where I am today. And I think to myself, wow, that's such a long way to go. But if they documented some of it and said, look, this is where I am, that would be amazing. So that's why I'm doing this, is to give myself some structure, which is what this is, and then document my own journey here, so that as I heard the great Alex Hormozy say on the weekend, that you can reap the benefits of my wisdom and experience without having to suffer the consequences of the same scars. So I love that. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. It is 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so I'm going to sign off. I thank you very much, and I will see you next week on Monday afternoon. Ciao for now.